Hey, you guys. So we're back with another episode. It's your girl Nelly.
It's your boy Reg right here.
Yep. So today, episode is inspired by dating and knowing the different levels, right? So my co-host Reginald came up with the idea, so I'll let him take it away.
Okay. What I'm really wondering right now is there a difference between the way a person acts towards you when you're dating versus in a relationship slash a marriage? So, uh, I've heard some women say this before. Hey, I can't do this because you're not my husband, or we're not in a deep relationship or whatever it is. But you guys are clearly something going on between you guys, and she's saying she can't do certain things yet, because you're not her husband. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I definitely feel like there's levels, right? So when you're dating, I feel like, there's the dating stage and then you have the kind of like boyfriend girlfriend stage, then you go to engaged, and then it's marriage. You can't give your like all your apples that in that initial
Well,
stage.
okay. So, like, let's say me and you are dating, all right, and I say something like, "Hey, it would be really nice if I came home and you had dinner ready."
Okay. Um so, you have to take some to get some or give some to get some, right? So what am I getting out of it?
I mean,
Right?
you got a man, and he's saying that
Then you have a woman.
he's saying that he wants dinner ready when he gets home. So, like, is there an issue with that? Do I have to be
So
your husband? Do I have to put a ring on it? And what's going on?
so yes. Yeah. If we're not cohabitating, if we're not living together, and you're expecting for me to, you have all these expectations, and we have to set boundaries, right? So we have to set boundaries. We have to set expectations at each and every level.
So
That's
so
how I feel.
so I mean, what about paying for dinner? Because you're not my wife, so should I be paying for dinner? Like,
Okay, well that's base one. Congratulations. In order for you to know me and get to know me, we have to exchange like energies and be around each other. Like that's
yeah, but I'm saying,
obvious.
are you okay with the fact that I'm not paying for dinner and you're gonna pay for your half then?
Okay, well that's normal. Like a lot of people feel like we should go Dutch. The initial, maybe the first, maybe second date. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a Dutch kind of girl because if you ask me out, I feel like you should be paying for
I mean,
everything.
but you're saying that, like, but would you actually do that though? Would you actually go
Yeah,
out?
absolutely.
Would you call a guy back
I've paid
until?
for dates
Okay,
before.
but I'm saying, okay,
I've Nels has
okay,
paid for dates before.
but I'm
The entire
saying,
like
okay, but I'm saying you go out with a guy. You guys are at a nice fancy restaurant like Red Lobster, right? And
tried it. You wouldn't catch me at a Red Lobster, baby. You would not. You wouldn't.
Anyway, you had a nice fancy restaurant like Red Lobster, and the check comes.
Well, you know what kind of guy he is.
Okay.
Talking about a fancy restaurant. No, Ocean Air.
Anyway,
Ocean Prime.
The check comes. They give you the
Joe's
they give you the check. They give you the check, and the bill comes out to $65. Now you got some wings and a soda, but she got a lobster and she got some wine.
Let's be real here. This is my friend. Reginald is my friend, so he really eats like a rabbit. So, so yeah, he would go out to a seafood spot and literally eat.
I don't know what she's talking about. But
and
anyway,
literally,
but let's not get off. Let's
fries.
not get off topic here. Okay,
No.
so the point is, okay, the check comes and the guy says, okay, you know what? Let's see. I got the wings. I got the Sprite. That came out to $22, and the bill was $65. And
see,
so,
it's all about how you date, right? So, like, he's the type of guy who would literally nitpick and like go through the receipt and figure out, okay, this is what I got, this is what she got, this. So you're gonna like literally go refine the receipt and go one by one and be like, okay, well, this is how much you're paying, this is how much I should be paying.
All right.
I'm only gonna spot $60, and that's a little more than what I should be paying, but I'm gonna spot that, and you got the rest. Like what?
So the point I'm trying to make is, okay, so if you're with a guy who's gonna do that, are you gonna call him back? Like, realistically speaking, are you really gonna call him back?
If the vibe, it's all about a vibe. Like, you have to have good energy. We have to have a vibe. We have to have chemistry, right? Like, I would not call someone back if like the date was like super dry, crickets. He was on his phone most of the time. Like, that's not
Okay.
cool.
Okay, but it was a fun date, but he paid for his half and he told you to pay for your half. He
That's
said
already
separate checks, please. Separate checks, please.
If a man said separate checks to me, he asked me out on a date, there would not be a second date. I guarantee you.
Okay. So, but that goes back to my point then, because that's so now you're saying that he has to pay for your bill, but you're not my wife though. You're not my wife.
This is my logic right here. So I feel like if you ask me out, then you should be paying. If I asked you to hang out with me, then I have expectations of paying. Like, that's just how I feel. So I will pay. But that's just the way I move. Me and my circle of friends, we move like that. Like, we're boss chicks. And we can pay expenses for whoever like, we spot each other when we go out. So I wouldn't, if I invited you out, I want to see you. You should be, like, happy that we're, like, that I even think about you in that capacity to want you to come out and hang out with me. Like, what?
Anyway, so as we clearly saw, that dude who isn't doing his half as being the man, which is taking care of the bill, he's not gonna call back. So
his half.
Then
his
okay.
half. That's pretty.
Okay, so then
shallow.
Okay, so then now, as a woman,
sad.
if you're not doing your half of whatever it is that is the typical feminine role. And I don't want to categorize it like that. At that point,
you're accelerating because you're saying, like, we're dating. Now you're saying roles. So if we can't even make it past the dating stage and you are going Dutch, I would never ever have you as a man that's going to protect and provide for me, because obviously you're like you're cheap, you're frugal, for a better word. But no, like, based off of that first experience that I've had with you, it's not gonna work.
Okay, but the reason he's paying is because that's his role as the man to.
You asked me out. If you asked me out,
but I'm just saying.
If you asked me out, then you should be paying.
Okay, but
period.
Okay, but I'm saying, okay, let's say you guys mutually decided to go out together, all right?
Who initiated it? That's the real question.
You don't.
Because it can't be both people. Oh, damn! You called me. I called you.
No,
damn,
no. Okay,
we locked
okay.
in.
All right.
Did you? Okay. Like, who? Someone had to initiate it.
Okay. Let's say somehow it was a mutual decision to go out to eat. Even let's say the scenario is that you met at the restaurant itself. All right. You met at the restaurant itself, and you guys are talking, chilling, hanging out, and he doesn't pay for your dinner. Are you gonna call him back?
If he doesn't pay for my dinner, and honestly, I feel like that's, like, unrealistic. Like, one person had to initiate the date. So let's say he initiated it. If he doesn't pay for the meal, then 9 times out of 10, I'm not.
Alright.
I'm not interested.
So it sounds like, generally speaking, if he's not willing to pay for it, you're not giving him a call back. So why can't a man say that? Okay, she's not. She's not gonna do things like be submissive or.
But how do you gather that from the initial stages? Like, you haven't even gotten to the point where, like, you have been invited over to her crib. He has invited you. Like, we're still working on preliminary. This is preliminary. Like, if you can't pay for a date in which you initiated and asked me out to go on, then there's no purpose. What are we doing? I'm not the girl for you. We're not compatible.
All right. So, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that he's got to do what he has to do. All right. Let's put it like this, right? You go out with a guy, right? And you guys are walking through the street, and another man walks by and disrespects you. Let's say he says, damn, girl, look at that fatty you got back there. Do you expect the guy to defend you and say something, speak up? Do you expect that?
Depends on what stage we're at. Like, if you're my boyfriend, absolutely check him.
Okay.
If you're my boyfriend.
All right. So let's say,
yeah.
Let's say you guys aren't boyfriend and girlfriend. Let's say, he met you at a lounge and you guys went out for the first time. But let's say someone else disrespects you, though.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't say anything, if he doesn't defend you, are you going to give him a call back?
So I feel like in that situation, he's also trying to gauge, like, to see whether I'm fully into him. So he'll just be like, kind of be standoffish. But if it gets a little aggressive, he should step in. If he doesn't step in at that point where he's like groping or like all on me, like in my face after I like kind of like brush him off, then you're just gonna let him like be in my face.
But then that goes back to what I was saying before, because that's what a man does, right? He
But
protects, he
you're still
provides.
in the entry level stages. We're still not even there yet, babe.
Okay,
Like we're not even there.
so then
Like
he's
you're
not
just.
he's not there yet. He shouldn't defend you. I mean, like, you're not my wife, so why should I?
But let's go back
You
to the
know.
topic at hand.
Hmm.
Like you're giving like relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, like scenarios when you're still gauging like dating.
Hmm.
We initially said that if we're on a date, like you should be paying as a man.
Okay, so all right, let me ask just the basic question, all right? You guys are just starting to talk. We know what his responsibilities are. His responsibilities are still to protect you and provide, since he's paying for dinner. What is it that you have to do other than show up and look pretty?
If
Anything
he's
else?
paying for the date, I have to be engaged. I definitely have to be interested. I want to know more about him. Guys are like, correct me if I'm wrong. Guys like to feel important, like to feel loved, right? Is that a thing?
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Okay. But again, the question was, what is your responsibility? Since
That, just that.
we already defined his responsibility, but now we're trying to define
My
what's your
responsibility
responsibility.
is supposed to be vulnerable, be open, be interested. Like guys flock to women who are engaged and interested in what they're doing and just want to know more about them. Like I'm definitely, if you're paying for expenses like our dinner, our dates, I'm gonna be as interested as possible. I want to see how your workday was. I want to see how I can make it better. You know.
So basically, nothing that you wouldn't really typically do to anybody else, right? So you basically
What?
have
I wouldn't.
no
I'm not.
responsibility
Oh.
to. I mean, it sounds like it, right?
No,
Doesn't
incorrect.
it?
No, wrong. Um, I'm way more engaged with the guy I'm interested in. Like I'm definitely trying to figure out what they're doing, how they're feeling. I mean, if they've eaten anything, like if I can bring them anything, I've brought
Oh,
it.
okay. So you get a free meal, you get protection, and he gets a person engaged towards him. Is that what it is?
Love, compassion. I mean, maybe not love initially, but like care. I care. Like a
Okay.
lot of men are very emotional. Most men are emotional. Let's be frank here. And they need that support and just like that boost of confidence sometimes. And they just want to feel like they're on top of the world. Like they got somebody on their side. Am I right?
Anyway,
Is that
we're
not true?
yeah, but anyway,
No, hold on.
we
Don't negate what I'm saying. Like, be real. Be friendly to people. Like, if I'm
okay.
saying something wrong, am I
Okay,
saying
yeah.
something
I mean,
wrong?
that's great that you're engaged, but I mean,
But I named a few other things:
yeah,
engaged, caring.
yeah,
You know,
okay,
trying to.
but I mean, I was trying to get to like, okay, well, you know what? Because I know that he's doing this, I'm gonna make sure that I do this. But we're kind of going over time right now. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below, and we'll chime in and see what you think. Thanks.